when it comes to the creative industry, where are we heading? Hi, I'm Vivian Toh. Join me as I talk to various personalities from within the creative industry, finding out about the challenges, issues, and developments. All of this on Design, the brand new creative talk show, every Wednesday night at 9:15 on Bernama Radio24. Welcome back to Design and good evening to Noel.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm looking at your credentials. You are the head of school fashion entrepreneurship at ALFA International College. We will talk more about that on how you ventured into teaching. But first of all, I see that you have studied fashion at the Paris American Academy. Sounds glamorous to me. How did you ended up in fashion? Earlier on you said you wanted to take a course in culinary arts and mom disagreed and then you get into fashion. Tell us about that.
Well, I love culinary arts. Mm-hmm. It's always been my first passion, my first love. However, yeah, my mom didn't allow. When she goes like, you can't do that.
You're cool about it.
And no, not really.
You cried.
So I actually did architecture.
Okay.
And halfway through, I realized that this is not what I want to do in life. Mm-hmm. And it was very difficult. So I made a decision and I told my dad. Mm-hmm. And he said, oh yeah, go ahead. With
fashion?
Yeah, with fashion. Mm-hmm. And he was supportive all the way through. And here I am.
What is it like in architecture? Why was that jump from architecture to fashion? What is it that you don't like about architecture and things that you like about fashion?
Right. I always have a flair for fashion. Mm-hmm. I love clothes. I love to design. I love to
your
look
hair.
good. Oh, thank you. And so what happened was I thought, doing architecture will be able to fulfill my creativity. Desires, mm-hmm. Yeah. And what happened was halfway through, I was just sitting in the class one day.
And stones. You like textures.
Yeah. So one day, sitting in the class, and I decided this is not what I want to do. In fact, I really love fashion so much that, I made the bold step, mm-hmm. the first step, and started off doing fashion.
Then how did you get to find out about Paris American Academy?
Well, I did a foundation in a college here, and then I went on to do a diploma level in another college, and that college had a tuning program to Paris. So I thought, okay, that will be an opportunity. I mean, where else can you go? It is the fashion capital of the world. Mm-hmm. So I ended up in Paris.
Getting there, was it difficult?
It was actually, in fact, considering I was very young when I left the country.
How young were you? 21?
I was 21, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was just in time I celebrated my birthday and mm-hmm. off I went. Mm-hmm. And when I arrived there, it was very difficult, first time out of the country and...
Culture shock?
Culture shock, mm-hmm. Yeah, and people were not really friendly. Mm-hmm. So, but then, I decided, I'm going to...
Well, let's look at the brighter side of it. You became somebody else, somebody stronger, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. I would say yes. Well, I was a very timid person. Mm-hmm. But now, as the years goes by and, meeting a lot of people. In fact, Paris has taught me a lot in life mm-hmm. about people. And it is where I decided in Paris, one day I will be in the education line, mm-hmm. educating people.
Why?
Well, first of all, I really love people. It's mm-hmm. all about people. I mean, people are around us. And we all depend on each other okay. in everything we do. Okay. So to me, I think, it is all about how we look at each other and help each other.
So before we talk about how you got into education, you do have a very interesting, let's call it a learning curve, having worked as a fashion designer in the Bollywood fashion scene? No? But were you in India?
Yeah, I was in India, mm-hmm. in fact, for a year and a half. I was in Mumbai.
Okay. What did you do there?
I was actually teaching there.
Oh, teaching
Yeah.
fashion?
Teaching fashion, yes.
Wow.
In one of the local universities. And I gained the experience. The reason why I chose Mumbai or India in particular is because it has such richness of culture, the vibrancy of color and diversity of race.
So when
that
you
is what
taught fashion there in India, Mumbai, right?
Yep.
There must be a specific kind of fashion that you put forth to the students. Did you bring any local flavors into the course?
What
was it like teaching fashion there?
Well, teaching fashion in Mumbai, I mean, in India especially, is very challenging because they have their own set of mindset, and basically, if you look at India fashion is built on their richness of culture, and it's been there for thousands of years, and that's what draws the local people together, because of their culture. And if you look at the Bollywood scene and the fashion in Bollywood, it is all about culture. It's all about their tradition,
celebration,
wear,
of
culture. Yeah.
So, having been in India, what do you think could be something that us Malaysians can learn from them?
To appreciate our own culture. I
Are we
think
not appreciating culture?
we do. It's just that I think we should really put it into our designs, in what we are doing in our lives. To me, fashion it's all about life, and how do you use that? So I think we are so rich in our culture here in Southeast Asia, in Malaysia. So why not use that, as a
So at some point in time, you started off as you came up with a brand of yourself. You manage a fashion label, right? So can you tell us a bit about that?
Right. After graduating, I was like thinking, okay, all geared up, and I want to I'm ready for the world, and to start up my own business and all that. But it's not easy, because it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of understanding the world of fashion, not just going out and you think you know everything.
It's frustrating, isn't it?
It is.
You got all this passion, desires in yourself, and then one day you find yourself still stuck and you don't know where to go.
Yeah, it does actually. It takes a lot of effort to understand about fashion. But then if you really have the passion for it, it is how you learn it or how you understand it.
And then you came to teach fashion, but did you inculcate business into it from a very early on when you start out teaching?
Not in the early days.
Okay. Then how did it happen, coming to terms with fashion and business?
Okay, it all started in India, because I was trained as in design background, whereas in India I was asked to teach business since I have a little experience in fashion business. So I thought, okay, I will take that, and I started teaching, and I found that it is interesting, and it does help me to understand about fashion, because to me what I like to teach people is fashion is a business, and I would like to look fashion as a business.
But why does teaching give you so much pleasure? I know you could have been really successful in running your own label, but why teaching? What is it about teaching that gives you such great satisfaction?
As I mentioned earlier, it's all about people. And, I've been to many schools that studied fashion and design. But I feel that there is something that I can make a difference in the design world, trying to incorporate business and fashion and retail and other designs that we can really boost up the design economy. So that's why I ventured into education, because I didn't get what I really wanted. So I thought, okay, let's make a difference. But
you do have experience in running a label, which is AKA business. So I understand that running a business is difficult. I run a business myself too, publishing a magazine and hosting a show. All this stuff, it's all about business. But coming from your point of view, as a person being in business, what are the struggles as a fashion designer? What have you faced when you were starting out, wanting to do a business with your passion?
Right. I think it is more like understanding what the market is all about. Because being a good designer, I mean, there's so many designers out there, and it's very competitive market actually. But being a good designer is understanding the market. What is it about? What do we have in the market? We can start off. I mean, there's so many designers who start off their labels and their boutiques and the retail stores, but are they really doing
understanding it, right?
Yeah, understanding what the markets need, what the customers need is all about.
How can they? How from where should they start off with? As understanding the market, is there any tools to measure it? How do we know what is trendy and what is not? What is marketable and what is not?
That's where we do our market research, and that is where it comes all into a business study.
Right.
And that's where we started off this fashion entrepreneurship course. It is where to teach you how to study the market, do your market research, and understand what is actually out there. Because nowadays, graduates are just coming out and, oh yeah, I want to start a business, I want to do this, I want to do that. But do you know what you want to do, first of all, So you have to have a clear mindset, a clear vision.
What are the other subjects that are taught in the fashion entrepreneurship course apart from marketing?
Well, we teach them how to manage their retail outlets.
Okay.
We call
Budgeting,
it retail
maybe?
management. We teach them accounts, teach them how to organize events. And apart from that, we also teach them a little bit of design. So you need to understand the world of fashion. And yeah.
Well, I think having skill sets, talents as well, also business skills may not really be enough. What do you think? I think they should also, with these two areas covered, they also have to have a strong mindset, determination to pursue the dreams. If not, everything falls. Right?
Yeah, they have to have a strong mindset, persistence, and but to me, it is all about creativity. How creative you are, and also the passion. You need to have the passion. That is what drives you to become better, to be the best.
Well, you have been teaching for quite some time, and definitely you have come across students, young ones, who are either passionate or not. Are you able to gauge the level of persistency in the course they're taking? And do you think they will, carry on to be a successful fashion designer?
Yes, I am able to. What I do with them, when they first come in, they're so fresh, their mindset, and they're like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. But what I do is I guide them, I tell them, I ask them, what do you want to be, what do you want to do? And from there on, guiding them towards their vision, their dreams, and helping them to achieve that.
Well, that is the most difficult part.
It is actually, because not everyone has I want to do just designing. They want to do something different. Some want to start a boutique. Some want to work with a designer. Some want to be an illustrator. So it is quite challenging.
I think your personal experience speaks louder than words. You could impart. That is what we need. Lecturers or teachers with the experience from the real working world, and sharing these stories with them so that they do not have to make the same mistakes again. And so now, from your experience, what can you summarize about these young people? What needs to be done, or what are the issues that need to be addressed? Considering now you have this fashion entrepreneurship course started, what are the things? I'm sure, Cecil talked about having constant discussion among yourselves in the college. So what have you observed among the younger generation that has to be looked into?
Right, a lot of people would like to do fashion as a course, but you have to understand and do your little research. What is fashion all about? Because now in the market, there's so many different courses in fashion. Particularly, we have fashion design, and we have other courses that are fashion marketing, fashion business, and fashion entrepreneurship, like what we're offering. Well, the difference between both is where fashion design is just purely design. You do learn a little bit of marketing, but it's more into design. So these are those who graduate from fashion design courses. They are actually fashion designers, pattern cutters, fashion stylists. Whereas if you're talking about fashion entrepreneurship, it is more into business. So what we do is we guide the students, and once you're done with us, they're able to open up their own businesses. Okay. They're able to understand the market and be your own boss.
Well, other than being their own boss, what are the prospects from taking this course? They could be a boss, right? What else could they do if they decided not to be a boss one day?
Well, they can work with a retail line. They can manage stores, retail chains, and they can just they can even work for people, but they are more into the business side of it.
I think what would be really interesting to see is the collaboration between this set of people with the skills of fashion entrepreneurship, collaborating with non-fashion people to spark up something even more interesting. I mean, they could eventually probably get in line with other design disciplines like graphic design or styling, even culinary arts. There is certain design aspect to it, fashion. Now, what do you think, Noel, from your point of view, what would be a message that you want to send out to the people out there about fashion entrepreneurship?
Fashion entrepreneurship is very promising, and I mean, if we look at, let's say 20 years ago or 15 years ago, you know, how people in the fashion industry, how they have to work themselves up and learn the hard way. And we didn't have this kind of courses then to guide them or to help them. Whereas now we do have this kind of courses to help students, to help people who want to do fashion as business. And we are giving that to them and helping them.
Hopefully they will be appreciative of the efforts. You come across to me as someone really passionate about fashion, and also in teaching we really do need more teachers like you. Okay? And well, we have come to the end of the show, Noel. I do really want to talk to you more after the show about your passion, especially in fashion. Now, I have just spoken to Noel of ALFA International College, the head of school for the Fashion Entrepreneurship course. Now, if you are interested to find out more about this course, you can always visit their website at www.alfa.edu.my, or just make a visit to ALFA College and look for Noel, the guy from the head of school. Now,
the hair.
Yeah, go spot and look for the guy with that mohawk hair. Okay. Now, before we end the show, I would like to make a short announcement that there will be an Urbanscapes Festival that is happening during the weekend at the Malaysia Agro Exposition Park Sedang. In short, that's MAEPS. That's a lot of things going on. There are highlights of the local non-music acts, as well as, well, I'm sure there will be some fashion design show going on, if I'm not mistaken. Well, the people that we see there would be a certain kind of fashion show that we are able to appreciate. And also, do stay tuned tomorrow at 5:15 in the evening, as I will be hosting an exclusive Malay edition, particularly talking about the CUTOUT International Photography Awards, as well as the highlights of urbanscapes. Now, do drop us a comment on facebook.com/design939. We will also be posting up information about a fundraising campaign that is being organized by a group of Malaysian fashion designers together with the Philippines fashion designer in aid of the typhoon victims in the Philippines. Now, that is one interesting topic that we can hear about on the Design Facebook page. Also, if you would like to contribute to this cause, do stay tuned on Design. And also, for if you want to find out or want to listen to the past episodes,
right?
Episodes as well as snippets of our show, you can always go to cutoutmag.com/design, produced by Motion Fixer, the Ideas Agency. Now, this episode this evening is brought to you by ALFA International College. On that note, I am Vivian Toh. I will see you next week. This is Designed on Bernama Radio24.
Read it tomorrow, watch it later, or hear it now on your fast news and non-stop information radio station, Bernama Radio 24.